for Life in Klamath Falls. And this coming fall will be the second 40 Days for Life in Klamath Falls. And so the question is, what is 40 Days for Life? 40 Days for Life is a focused campaign that accesses the power of God through prayer, fasting, peaceful vigil, and community outreach for the purpose of ending abortion. Prayer and fasting is something that anyone can do. The churches can join together in corporate prayer and pray during the 40 days. Small groups, youth groups, moms groups, shut-ins, anyone can participate. One of the things that I did as far as fasting is concerned is that during those 40 days I gave up television, and I spent the time reading and educating myself on pro-life issues. The second aspect of it is the peaceful, prayerful vigil. There are two options for the vigils. They ask you to sign up for a minimum of a 12-hour vigil, or you can do a 24-hour vigil. Surprisingly enough, they actually say the 24-hour vigil is easier to fill.
That's not each person does it for 24 hours.
Well, that's my next thing.
Okay.
That's my next thing. People sign up individually or as a group for slots of time during the vigil hours. So when I first started, I started in 2010 in Sacramento, and our church had Wednesday from 12 to 2. And so you could go out as a small group or individually, whatever works for you. The vigils take place in the public right-of-way outside an abortion clinic or other public area. Klamath Falls Vigil is in the Public Health Center, where women go to get referrals to Planned Parenthood, and they can get the morning after pill. And so that's where we go to have our vigil. Really important aspect of 40 Days for Life. All participants sign a statement of peace to be a part of it. The peaceful, humble nature of the 40 Days Vigil is what sets it apart and makes it stand out from many of the pro-life activities. The only signs that we have are ones that offer hope or help or encouragement. And we found that staying away from anything that's critical or judgmental has been really basic to the 40 Days for Life campaign. The third aspect of 40 Days for Life is community awareness. One thing that I've done in the past is have pro-life movie night at the churches or at the community centers, and this has really raised, a lot of times I'll have sign-ups for the vigil there, and so after they've seen the movie, a lot of people will sign up. 40 Days also has, in the past, had people go door to door and just talk to them about pro-life issues, which is pretty gutsy. I don't know. Then another thing that could be done is gathering signatures for the initiative to end taxpayer funding of abortion. That's so critical right now. Putting signs or crosses near the freeway to raise awareness of the abortion culture that we live in. There are two campaigns a year. There's one in the fall and one in the spring during the Lenten season. So the question is, what has it accomplished? Since going national in 2007, 37 abortion centers have closed after having a 40 Days for Life vigil outside of them. There are some of the closed clinics there. 83 abortion workers have left their jobs after 40 Days for Life campaigns outside their workplaces. These are three of them have been directors. Two of them, Abby Johnson, you probably know something about her story. What you may not know is that she has since started a nonprofit organization called Till There Are None, and it's a ministry to abortion workers. So helping them come out and get new jobs and whatever is needed. This is Sue Thayer. She is from Storm Lake, Iowa, and she was a director there for 17 years. And when Planned Parenthood started upping their abortions, especially the chemical abortions, she was told that her site would be a facility that would be doing the telemed abortions, which is the ones where there's a drawer that pops out and a doctor in another city across the country, you know, tells them to take their first pill, and they start the abortion there. She was very upset because she said, you know, this isn't making it rare. We're supposed to be making it rare. And because she complained, she was fired, and after a couple of years, she felt God leading her to lead a 40 Days for Life, and she led a 40 Days for Life outside of the clinic that she managed for 17 years, and it closed down after the first one. 536 babies have been saved that we know of. That's when people who are praying outside the clinic hear from someone who is going into the clinic to set an appointment up that they have changed their mind. The 7,500 times they have been told that by people going into the clinic that they weren't going to follow through. And that changes, that's one of the exciting things that changes every day during a 40 Days for Life campaign. Go ahead. This is just a little map that I made. What does 56 million people look like? And you can see, you know, Washington State, all the cities there, Oregon, California, Arizona, and Alaska. If we were to wipe out all those cities and all those people, we would be short 56 million people, which is what, you know, we have lost since 1973 through abortion. Go ahead, Dave. You've probably seen this map before. It shows the 11 surgical abortion sites in Oregon, and most of the abortion sites are within walking distance to a school. You guys probably already know that. Go ahead. This is a map of abortions in Oregon by county in 2011. And what you notice there, and you probably can't see the numbers real well, we're Klamath County, we had 113. Jackson County had 458. And as you look around, Lane County had 838. And you go up here towards Portland area, and you've got close to 3,000 in 2011. And if you were to superimpose those two maps on top of each other, you see where the abortion clinics are, the abortions happen. You know, and when you get farther away, you get less and less abortions. So if there were no clinics, we'd be having less abortions, obviously. Go ahead. You guys are probably familiar with this if you go and pick it outside of Ashland Planned Parenthood. This is in the spring, when they had the spring campaign. I chose to come over the mountain and pray outside the Planned Parenthood there, and they were very nice. Every Friday when I came from 12 to 2, this parking space seemed to always be open. I had my little sign there, pray to end abortion, and I parked right in front of the clinic.
Did you stay in your car?
What's that?
Did you stay in your car?
No, I actually like to pray from across the street because I can see people coming and going. There's the back, you can see there's a back door that you can see from the other side. So a lot of times, if I were not by myself, I might be doing it more right there in front of Planned Parenthood, but I was by myself, so I was kind of just doing it from across the street. But I did have my car right there in front of it, and I did see some people doing double takes, like, you know, they weren't putting it together, abortion and Planned Parenthood. And this is a guy that came out the second to last Friday I was there, and, you know, he was taking pictures of my car and taking pictures of my license plate, and I waved and smiled at him, and then I grabbed my camera and took a picture of him, and he waved and smiled at me. So that's our friendly neighborhood abortion worker. When you go online at www.40daysforlife.com, you pull this up. Have any of you been to the website? There's a whole list of, right up here, of things you can access. You can find out about 40 Days for Life. You can sign up here and get daily emails during the 40 Days for Life campaign. This is very exciting. When you get, you go in there, and this is where they list the number of babies that have been saved that day, and it changes daily, and it's really exciting. And a lot of times on Saturday, when many of the clinics are doing double duty, they, the number of babies saved is doubled. Then there's daily devotionals and also locations. Go ahead, Dave. This is the map that comes up when you hit the locations button. This is the grassroots prayer vigils. I believe this was about a year ago. I think this was last fall. And there have been 501 cities involved and 19 other countries. They're really excited last year because they had a 40 Days for Life campaign in Moscow and 2 in Africa. Go ahead, Dave. This is what the daily devotional looks like. You can access this daily. It's got intentions, a prayer verse, a reflection, and then a prayer. And you know, it's all pro-life, different pro-life leaders that are writing those out. This one was written by the president of Heartbeat International. Some of the added blessings to 40 Days for Life. 30% of the new participants in 40 Days for Life said they'd never been involved in any pro-life activity before, and praying outside a clinic was the first thing they ever did. 91% of all participants say that they were blessed by the experience of praying. Hundreds of post-abortive men and women have sought forgiveness and healing because of 40 Days for Life, and just because of our presence there, and because we have the opportunity sometimes to connect with the ladies, and also the people who are coming to pray who have had abortions themselves, are beginning to deal with their own losses. So we'd like to have you join us. Go ahead. The next 40 Days for Life campaign is September 25th to November 3rd, 2013, and you're invited to join us. Go ahead. And what can you do? You can investigate 40 Days for Life yourself, pray and ask God how He wants you to be involved. Join us in the fall vigil on your own, as a church, as a small group, however you feel called, and consider a prayer vigil outside Ashland, Planned Parenthood. One of the things that I have been impressed with praying outside of, and I was connecting with a number of the churches, about 3 or 4 churches in Ashland, was I think that they are very overwhelmed with, you know, a sense of darkness in their community. And so this is kind of overwhelming to them. And so I thought, well, maybe the communities around them that are all affected by the abortion clinic that's in their presence, maybe we can just pray for them and pray for the people that are going to the clinic there. Any questions?
So does Klamath have a facility, or does everybody that
You know, I
want to
thought I
have
put that in there. We do not have an abortion facility. Our girls go to Ashland.
does the hospital perform abortions?
No. As far as I am aware, there aren't even any private doctors that do abortions there. We pray outside the public health center. The public health center is where girls go to get the morning after pill. They can have that. And they can, if they need to get an abortion, they get referrals to the Ashland Planned Parenthood there. So that's why, you know, Ashland has been put on my heart, because that's where our girls go. And
It's a long drive for children.
Yeah.
Sir?
What's the total number of clinics in the state and in the nation, approximately?
There's 11 surgical clinics in the state.
yeah, 11 surgical clinics. And if we go back to that blue one, I don't know, it shows all the abortion clinics, but So you'd have to count them.
That's the Planned Parenthood clinics though, right? Because Ashland has at least another private one, and we have Rogue Valley Medical Center that does abortions. So we have at least 3 facilities in the valley.
Yeah.
You know, Ashland.
This map is put out by Oregon Right to Life, I believe.
Okay.
And it has the other sites.
Well, it shows a couple more sites there, but it doesn't say.
Well, see, Medford has a Planned Parenthood clinic, but they dispense morning after pills and stuff like that. But Rogue Valley Medical Center does abortions, and we have a rogue doctor down on Main Street in Ashland that just does terrible things down there, right on Main Street, just at the other end of town, at the north end of town.
In Ashland, too. I don't have the information on that.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So, Diane, as far as, is the website pretty much complete as far as how to organize one and the steps to take to?
When going back to the website. Okay. When I signed up to lead, to coordinate this, I got a website for Klamath County. And I can tweak that anyway. They kind of give you something, you put in the dates and the times and everything, and you can update it and put what's going on in your community during the 40 days and add anything that you like and be as active or interactive as you like. There is a manual that that I've gotten. There are webcasts that I'm a part of, where they kind of walk you through it step by step. There are contacts that you can connect with, people who there's a communications director and someone that's in charge of the first startup clinic, 40 days programs. And they're very, very available. I found them to be very available and very helpful, and was contacting them last year, on a...
But there's 4 people on national staff.
I think there's more than that now. Yeah, it is something that between the 40 days, it kind of goes numb. It shuts down. But they've just re-upped it, and they just updated all of their online accesses and things like that, because some people were having they had it so that you could actually sign up online. You could go to the Klamath County 40 Days for Life and sign up on a schedule there, and they've updated that and made it more accessible. Then, if you want to follow something that's happening if you happen to be from California, I'm from Sacramento, I keep updated all the time with what's going on in Sacramento just by hitting on the little map, and I sign up for emails from them and I get them. But I have felt that there has been a lot of support for me, and I have a whole booklet, and it gives you check-off lists and tells you there's an initial rally that they say is really important to get it started, and then there's you can do a rally afterwards and later, and for my rally a lot of times I'll do a pro-life movie, and I'll talk to them about it. This time at my initial rally, my kickoff rally, I have Judy and Vern Reynolds from the Pregnancy Center coming and speaking. And I'll have some music, and we'll sing, and then we usually meet at the Government Center, which is right around the corner from the Public Health Center, and then we walk to the Public Health Center and we pray there and sing there.
So did you guys have a 24-hour visual?
We signed up for a 12-hour, and this was, I just kind of felt like God wanted me to do this, and it was something that I couldn't not do type thing, and when I realized we were going to move here. We signed up for 12 hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I only had about, I live in Chiloquin. I was new to the area. I didn't know a lot of the churches. We probably had about 20 people total that were coming out to pray. And we did about 30% of the 12-hour.
Mhm. But you kept it, you were able to maintain it for the whole 40 days?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I did, I was there quite often.
Sure.
But I see it growing. I got involved in a Bible study in town, so I'm involved in a women's group, and I'm involved also, I'm a receptionist at the pregnancy center, so I expect them to be, I'm thinking that our numbers will grow. And it's one of those things that once you've done it once, it kind of, builds on itself. So,
I can see that.
yeah, so, yeah.
The public health center you speak of, is that Cape Falls?
Yes. It's the Klamath Falls Public Health Center on
okay.
4th.
Okay.
4th and Pine, around the corner from me.
Thank you.
So do you also do 40 Days for Life at the Ashland clinic?
You can, I'm not doing it at the Ashland Clinic. I live 2 hours away from Ashland. I live 45 minutes away from Klamath Falls, so that's been enough of a drive for 40 days. Last spring, I decided that I wanted to pray outside the Ashland Clinic because spring in Ashland's a little milder than spring in Klamath Falls. And so I drove up the mountain and came on Fridays. And that I just was trying to build up awareness about, and I still am, that's why I'm here, about 40 Days for Life and about the need for prayer to end abortion and the fact that this is amazing results happening from 40 Days for Life and for praying.
I get their emails, so I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I did not sign up to lead one. There is something that they call, you're doing it, not sympathy, but you're walking alongside them, but you're not actually doing a 40 days. To sign up to do a 40 days for life, they ask you to commit to a minimum of a 12-hour a day vigil. And I know that there are places, especially here in Oregon, that are starting up, smaller and building. And I'm doing that too. I just said I'd agree to trying to fill the 12 hours, and that was my goal. And I really only got to about 30% of that, but I think it's going to build on itself. So, but that's what they ask. That's the minimum they ask is the 12-hour.
so
What we're here doing is trying to find somebody to lead a vigil here.
At least to raise awareness about it and say, hey, this works. The first place in Sacramento, I think I mentioned that I prayed at has closed. There has been this last time there was the spring campaign, the Boers clinics in Eugene closed. The last of the Boers clinics in Eugene closed. And in Sacramento, just after 40 Days for Life ended, a whole chain of abortion clinics in the Sacramento area, 6 of them, closed. And the one that they're praying at, they had an ongoing prayer since 2010 when they have just relocated. They've just up and moved, and
But we do know
we know where they are. So
from ex-workers and directors that during the they hate to see the campaign coming because their numbers of abortions goes way down.
yeah. Abby Johnson said that when she was when she was back with Planned Parenthood, they hate 40 Days for Life. She actually said that there was that they reported in some areas a 70% no-show rate when people are praying outside. That's amazing.
And
That
is
hurts.
Is this just the posture of prayer, that you're not confronting people who approach?
No, there are some sidewalk counselors. I have not, especially because I'm such a low-key person right now as far as getting this started. There are people that will do sidewalk counseling. And, you know, when I was in Sacramento, I went to sidewalk counseling training, and basically it was, you have a brochure and you say, can I share this with you? And that's your sidewalk counseling, but you know the brochure and you can talk about it as you know, that kind of thing. And being that I've been doing this, I am a receptionist at the pregnancy center, and I'm going to be going through training to be a client advocate. So once I get a little more training, I think and once I have some backup people on the sidewalks with me, I might be a little more comfortable with just. But we had one lady that was wonderful. She stood in front of the public health center, and she just opened the doors for all the ladies. WIC is in there. They have tons of young women coming in there. And, you know, she opens the door for them, and she's praying for them. And one time I saw her, she was walking around the building, and she was talking to herself, and she was going like this. And I said, and she said, I'm spreading the blood of Christ on the lentils so that the angel of death will go away. I thought, whoa. I thought, that's awesome. That's somebody I want to keep on my team.
A lot of faith there.
Yeah.
Dan, what's your email address for everybody?
Sure. It's Diane-Stringer.
Not dot, dash.
Stringer, and not underscore, at att.net. And ATT. And I do have a little flyer with some with some information, but I did not put my email address on there, so you can write that down if you need it. And if you go to 40 Days for Life / Klamath Falls, you will have some contact information for me there shortly. We haven't gotten up and running. We're practically wearing the same shirts.